Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I'm the Great Strega, and we are doing the Tarot Astrology for the week of March 8th, 2023. What do we have coming through with the cards this week? We are streaming this live on YouTube as well as on TikTok. The way it will work is I am going to look at the comments. I will choose the signs as I see them. We will hit all of the signs today, and we are going to get started. The first sign that we are going to be doing today is Taurus. If you are a Taurus, sun, moon, or rising, tap that screen. If you know a Taurus, sun, moon, or rising, now would be a great time to share the live with them so that they don't miss their reading. What do we have coming through right now for Taurus? May I please have the first three cards? We've got one card out. May I please have two more cards? Thank you. May I please have the third card? Thank you so much. First card we have coming out for Taurus right now, Ace of Cups in its reversal. So for all my Taurans out there, this is going to be a week that is going to feel rather exhaustive and draining. You may be feeling this already. One thing to keep in mind this week is self-care is key. Make sure that you are putting this time in for yourself right now. There's something being called to your attention this week as it relates to your own ability to care for yourself physically and emotionally that you should be addressing this week. A lot of attention on this right now, but this is giving you an opportunity to make some changes as it relates to your own ability to care for yourself physically and emotionally. Well, let's get some clarity on this. What is happening as it relates to some of this lack of care or this need for care? Taurus, you are moving through a state or period of mourning right now. We are seeing this coming through right now with this Five of Cups energy. There is something that you have been holding on to, that you have been found yourself trapped in a place of sadness on. And I do want to point out, for all my Taurans that are feeling this, it is having an impact on you in a very physical, emotional way. However, there is a moment of advice here for the Taurans as you're experiencing this, because obviously, while we do see that there is a detriment there, we're also seeing that there is a solution that is coming, that is being made evident here. Because really, the message for this week for our Taurus is this idea of being able to care for oneself better, even as you go through this period of grieving some kind of past situations or circumstances, or going through some period of mourning. Remember right now that a change of perspective is all that is required here, that is going to take some of this sad energy and bring it into the positive, because we do see here that there are positive potentials even in the wake of any setbacks right now, Taurus. You just need to be able to have the capability to turn your perception towards them. And I believe a lot of that is going to start with this care of yourself moving forward. The final card we have coming up for Taurus this week is the Temperance card. So there is something about this circumstance or scenario that is going to require a bit of time. Taurus, if you've been feeling like this, if you're going through it this week, if you're already starting to have some of these feelings of anxiety or sadness, maybe not even taking as well care of your person as you should, because you've been kind of overwhelmed with these feelings, remember that time heals all wounds. Thank you so much for the gifts, Annalise. So one of the things I really want to stress for you right now is this is really saying that there is this opportunity here that you are being given to heal, to allow your perspective to change, to find a functional path forward in this way. It's going to start with making your own care of self your top priority right now, really making this your first objective, and also allowing yourself to start to move into a positive mindset, focusing on those aspects that you can cling on to for gratitude, and allowing yourself to start to build that path forward. But this is a week, Taurus, that does say that you're going to need to be patient, because there is something here that is going to take some time. This could take some time in terms of a perceptive shift, in terms of what you want to, how you want to move forward. But there is something here about kind of allowing your perception to shift so that you can find that clear path forward. Bottom of the deck on this right now is Justice. Taurus, something to keep in mind if you've been experiencing this right now. This is a real moment to ask yourself, is a lot of this upsetness, is a lot of this are these problems, is some of these issues that are coming up right now that are causing you so much grief or pain, is this due to some deep imbalance in your life? Because if that is the case, that is showing you the first place that needs to be addressed in order to get you in a place where you'll be able to have this perception shift and a better care of the self. There is some indication here of something in your life right now, Taurus, that requires some correcting, that needs this point of balance to be achieved and reached in order for you to move forward in a more functional capacity. And I'd like you to keep in mind that a lot of the stuff that's coming up for you this week is bringing this to your attention so that you can take care of it, because I do feel like it has kind of reached some kind of like limit to the point that it's got you in such a bad emotional or mental headspace, and it's starting to take a toll on you physically or emotionally, that is allowing you to have this kind of correction point to allow this balance to be restored. So be patient with yourself this week, Taurus, as you go through this, and you will make it through. You will make it through, because this is all bringing you into better alignment. Thank you so much to my Taurus. I deeply appreciate you. We are going to continue right now. If you're just joining us, we are doing all of the tarot astrology for the week. I'm going to take a look at the comments and pick the next sign that we are doing. So far, we have done Taurus. The next sign we are doing right now is Leo. If you are a Leo, sun, moon, or rising, tap that screen. If you know a Leo, sun, moon, or rising, now would be a great time to share the live with them so that they don't miss their reading. What do we have coming through right now for Leos? I love the fact that the Leos are jumping on this week, because I feel like, I have to say, the last 2 weeks, Leos have been last. So I feel like we finally have the Leos coming back up first. What is coming through for this week for our Leos? May I please get 3 cards to clarify in terms of what Leos can expect this week? First card coming out for our Leos. Second card, please. Can I please have the third card? Thank you so much. What do we see coming through for Leos right now? Leos, there's some kind of resolution point or restoration point that you're working on right now. I'm seeing this here coming through with this 5 of Swords. There's some situation from the past that you're kind of putting consideration on in terms of asking yourself, is it time to go back to address it? Or is it the time to walk away? You're kind of going back and forth on this right now, but your attention is in consideration of some past experiences and perspectives. Continuing to get clarity right now. This is going to feel a little different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For masculine right now, my masculine Leos, what we're really seeing is there is some point that you are focusing on as it relates to some circumstances or situations from the past. This could be some unresolved argument or some kind of conflict that you've had to move out of, but you're putting a lot of thought and attention into. And we do see that whatever this is, one of the reasons that the Leo masculines are putting so much time and thought and attention into it is it created some kind of instability point for them, specifically with or potentially around their own feelings of stability. This could even have had some kind of immediate material impact on their present day-to-day life. And this could be why there is this moment right now of reconsideration as they look at this situation and ask what to do moving forward from here. For our feminine Leos right now, this could be a moment where you are putting a lot of thought and attention around some conflict from the past or some circumstances, asking yourself what you want to do or if you want to do something around a manifestation of masculine that is in its King of Pentacles in its reversal. So this is a point where you're looking back on something and you're having this point of redress or consideration, but really looking at this energy that is potentially associated to this as someone who has been creating some kind of material instability in your own life right now. And that is kind of giving you this redress point as you look back on the circumstance or situation. Continuing to get clarity on this point right now, as it relates to what to do about this, that is clearly the situation that's up in the air right now, because we do have here coming through the 2 of Pentacles. So for feminine energy right now, as it relates to the Leo feminine, we're seeing that there is some situations or scenarios from the past that you're dwelling on or you're putting a lot of thought on in terms of like, whether there is a point of resolution, whether you are going to potentially move away from it, but really having this moment of assessment of really looking at any energies associated to it as some kind of destabilizing force, and leaving this moment like feeling somewhat conflicted or unsure how to proceed as it relates to your own priorities. Because we almost see here with the Leo feminine that there's kind of this back and forth energy happening right now around kind of this destabilized situation from the past, around some kind of unstable masculine energy versus your own priorities right now. So we see that there is this deep need to try to create a sense of balance, or even really asking yourself what your priorities are at this point, whether you need to put some priorities down as you proceed forward from this path. For masculine Leos, what we're seeing here is there is this point of reconsideration or redress as it relates to some situation from the past that is making you have to reassess or reanalyze your own priorities right now. You may be feeling overstressed, overburdened, overworked, something about these situations or something about something that you decided as it relates to potentially something you walked away from. It's creating too many responsibilities for you right now. And this is the moment that you may be really putting a lot of attention on what you might be able to like remove from your life right now or reprioritize so that you don't feel so depleted and exhausted going forward. Bottom of the deck on this for our Leos is, oh my goodness gracious, a tower moment, a tower moment. So this does speak, this could have a lot to do with what we see here with this Five of Swords. So there was clearly some tower moment, that the situation or circumstance that arose was something that was very large. And there is something feeling like somehow it is still looming over you in some capacity. For feminine, this could very much have to do with the circumstance around this masculine that created this instability point for you right now. While for feminine, for feminine, this instability point, or masculine created this instability point. While for masculine right now, we're seeing that this has to do with potentially some kind of ongoing tower moment that's potentially happening that you feel you need to go back into some readdressing on to kind of allow for the tower to be moved down. I will point out that one of the things with this tower here being in its upright bottom of the deck, this would explain why there needs to be some kind of resolution point, because this is some kind of ongoing tower, even though it is on the bottom of the deck. So there is some kind of sentimentality or feeling. Thank you so much for the gifts, Annalise, that there is something here that is still occurring that needs to allow for some point of redress or addressing to allow the tower to be moved out of the way so that you can continue on your path going forward. That was our reading for Leos. Thank you so much to all of our Leos for receiving this message. We are doing the tarot astrology for all the signs right now. I am going to continue looking on the list for the next one we are doing. So far, we have done Taurus and Leo. The next sign that we will be doing is Cancer. If you are a Cancer, sun, moon, or rising, tap that screen. If you know a Cancer, sun, moon, or rising, now would be a great time to share the live so that they don't miss their reading. What do we have coming through for our Cancers this week? May I please get 3 cards to clarify? What do we have coming forward? First card coming through for our Cancers. We've got 2 cards out. May I please have 1 more card for Cancer, please? Thank you so much. First card for Cancer right now. I like this energy, Cancer. I like this energy. This is looking like a beautiful week for the Cancers. Feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind. Feminine Cancers this week, this is a week of feeling like you are very much in your power, specifically as it relates to your ability to communicate. We're seeing this coming through strongly right now with this beautiful Queen of Wands energy. So you are feeling empowered right now to communicate, to make your voice heard. This could be a beautiful week for our Cancer feminines right now as it relates to any planning or communication. So don't wait right now, Cancer feminines. Get your stuff done. While as for masculine Cancers right now, we are seeing that there is some point right now of having a lot of attention directed towards a manifestation of feminine that is in their Queen of Wands energy. So feeling like this energy is very open, very communicative, allowing this to be this point of fruition between you and this energy. This, for the masculines, is giving you a lot of confidence as it relates to your plans and your direction moving forward. We're seeing this right now with this Magician card in its upright. So something about this feminine energy being in such a agreeable, positive place, we're really seeing is encouraging the masculine energy to move forward in terms of their plans and projects. While for feminine right now, this is going to be feeling like a week where like you can't miss, okay? Cancer feminines, get your stuff done this week, because this is really saying to me that there's something about this week where you're really in an activator mentality. You're getting stuff done. You're feeling like things are getting done. You feel like you have the tools around you to get things done. People are listening to you. So beautiful energy for the Cancer feminines this week as well. There is something intriguing, though, coming through right now with this Ace of Swords in its reversal. And this speaks to the fact that for both Cancer feminine and masculine, there's something about having this point of achievement right now that required a surrender. It required a point of surrender to have this victory. So there may be some considerations or some actions that are happening this week to not only activate you and move you in the directions that are necessary, but also to allow yourself to surrender at the same time to something that might not have necessarily gone in your favor or something that you're kind of walking away from. But it's with the understanding that whatever you're surrendering this week is leading to a lot of these greater victories. And I think we see exactly why here, because for masculine it's leading to a lot of like potential positive experiences with the feminine, and for the feminine it's leading to just a lot of empowerment coming through. Bottom of the deck on this reading right now is, I can't, this Cancer reading's beautiful. We've got 3 of Pentacles coming through right now, so a lot of attention that the Cancers are paying right now to building strong foundations around you. That there could be some consideration point that you're paying attention to around some foundations that need to be restructured. But we are seeing here that you are putting a lot of energy right now into analyzing all of the foundations in your life right now to see if they are as stable as you think, or to decide if you need to put more attention in building stronger foundations. Beautiful energy for the Cancers. I love that reading. So good. Congratulations to the Cancers. We are going to continue right now. I'm going to name off the signs that we've done so far. If I've already done your sign, never fear. No worries. We're going to have to hit all of the signs. And if I missed you, you will be able to go to my YouTube channel and you will be able to find all of the signs there, since we are also streaming live there as well. So far, we have done Taurus, Cancer, Leo, and the next sign we are doing is Gemini. Are you one of them twins? Tap that screen if you are a Gemini sun, moon, or rising. Let's find out what is coming through for you this week in the card spreads. Let me just put this here. All right, thank you so much. And hello to everybody joining us on both YouTube and TikTok. We are doing all the tarot astrology for the week. What do we have coming through right now for our Geminis? May I please have 3 cards? We've got 1 card out here. May I please have 2 more cards? We've got 2 cards. May I please have 1 more card? Thank you so much. Geminis, this is feeling like a very good week for you as well. A little bit not as good as Cancer, but still very positive, specifically because we are starting this with the 6 of Pentacles. And so we're really seeing that, Gemini, you're moving into this week with a sense of gratitude and reciprocity, putting a lot of energy into giving into things right now, specifically maybe even putting forward a bit into certain areas, feeling like you're giving, over giving, but also feeling like there's going to be reciprocity in these places going forward, which is creating this very generous vibe for you right now. I'm saying that you're really kind of paying it forward to a certain extent right now, because we are also seeing a wheel of fortune around this. So some kind of deeper understanding right now, or feeling that there's something about you being able to like overcommit or overgive into something right now, because it is leading you in the direction of your chosen life path. And this is what's empowering you to be so generous right now, because you're almost seeing this almost in action as you give. And it's propelling you forward in big ways this week, both in your generosity of giving to these directions, but also potentially seeing some like immediate material results as like in the process. So we love this kind of energy in union together. Now, there is something very intriguing coming through right now for the Gemini energy around the Hangman. So this could also give some expression about this idea of potentially overgiving or having to overgive in an area right now, because I do see that there is something that may be a little bit uncomfortable or exhaustive or difficult about the position that you find yourself in right now. That in a way you might be feeling like you're kind of forced to overgive in this moment, because you kind of really definitely want to keep this momentum going, as it were. But we're also seeing here that there's something very valuable coming through with like the insights and the clarity that you're getting around this energy this week. Because we're really seeing here that one of the reasons you're willing to kind of overcommit or overwork yourself in these certain areas right now is because you feel like you're getting a deep spiritual give back right now in those places, even though you're feeling some kind of difficulty. So this is just a reminder to you right now, Geminis, that this doesn't seem like a situation that you might be able to do indefinitely. And to only kind of do it for as long as you feel like you're getting some kind of value or reward from it, because we don't want you necessarily like pushing yourself in this way without getting that kind of spiritual benefit from it in the process. Bottom of the deck on this as you go forward at this point right now is Eight of Pentacles in its reversal. So what's very intriguing is I think one of the reasons that you're kind of overcommitting or overgiving or being super generous in these certain areas of your life right now, Gemini, is this moment where you're really kind of putting a lot of attention in terms of what isn't working. And not just in terms of what is working, but almost more significance in what is not working, and seeking to dissolve or break away from anything that is not serving your purposes or is resulting in you not being able to do the things that you want to do in as functional way as possible. So this is really a moment that we see that you're taking for yourself to like not just like pour into the places that are producing the results that you want, but really kind of dissolving or breaking down the places that are stopping you from being able to work, because there is some kind of huge blocker here that's been brought to your attention that needs to be changed because it's been affecting your ability to work as effectively as possible. Thank you so much to all of my Geminis here, and I wish you the best of luck on that journey. We are going to continue right now. We are doing all of the signs. I'm going to go ahead and read off the signs that we have done thus far. If I've already done your sign, never fear, because we are doing these are all going to be up on my YouTube at the conclusion of this live. So you'll be able to find them there, and you can find the link to my YouTube and on my TikTok in the link in my bio. So far, we have done Taurus, Leo, Cancer, Gemini, and the next sign we are doing is Aries. If you are an Aries, sun, moon, or rising, tap that screen. If you know an Aries, sun, moon, or rising, now would be a great time to share the live with them so that they don't miss their reading. Can I please get 3 cards for our Aries? We've got 2 cards out right now. May I please, we've got 4 cards coming out for Aries this week. Let's take a look at what we've got. Aries, what's going on with this conflict? I'm seeing here that there is some conflict around you right now that is rising to the surface, potentially with this 5 of Wands coming through. We've got both fire signs with 5 energy. So this is saying that there is some conflict occurring right now with the fire sign energy. This can basically interpret as one of 2 things. This could be an active conflict that you are immediately trying to address right now, or this could be an internal conflict that you are experiencing. And I see here that there's something about this conflict that's ongoing because somebody feels that they owe an apology, or they deserve an apology, and we're seeing this coming through right now with this Knight of Cups. So for what we're really seeing here is there is this moment right now where I almost feel like the Aries energy is like ready and willing. I need to point this out. I feel like this Aries energy is ready and willing and able to keep a conflict going ad infinitum until they get the emotional gesture that is required to allow the conflict to come to a conclusion. That's really what we're seeing right now with this Aries energy. It's almost like the energy of the Aries being like, I don't like this conflict either, but I'm very perfectly happy continuing on this path until I get the apology that I deserve, or the emotional gesture that that is coming. So we see here that this is kind of creating a sense of conflict, not just necessarily like within the Aries, but also potentially around the Aries as they're kind of waiting for this. This could also be a moment where some of the Aries are asking if maybe they should be the one to give the apology, but that is also something that they're clearly battling themselves on right now, because that's, as we know, Aries are not big on the apology market. There is something here about this situation, though, that I do think that the Aries aren't being completely open or honest about, because it is creating some kind of trigger point in the Aries, creating this moment of vulnerability as they kind of dwell on whatever this ongoing conflict is, and either waiting or anticipating this emotional gesture back, or questioning whether they need to give it. So this is something that is making them feel vulnerable. Why? Because they're not getting the communication necessary to allow that to happen. We see that very clearly coming through with this Page of Wands and its reversal. So I mean, I'm sorry, Aries, but this is really coming across a lot like standoff energy is what we're really seeing, that there is some sort of standoff that's going on right now. The thing with the Aries that's funny is, like, I don't even know if anyone else knows that there's a standoff going on. I just want to point that out, Aries. is there a standoff, or is this a standoff that you've created in your noggin? Like, I just need to point that out for you guys, because this could represent a moment where, like, this could be an internal conflict where you might be the one who needs to come forward and do something about it. But we do see here that there is this very standoff energy. But the thing with the Aries is the Aries will be in a standoff for forever, for as long as it takes to get what they need. The important thing is to make sure, Aries, that someone realizes what you're waiting for, so that you're not just kind of standing there waiting for someone to deliver something that they don't know that they're supposed to deliver. Bottom of the deck on this right now for the Aries energy is Knight of Pentacles in its reversal. So again, it's kind of confirmation to what I just said. This is very much confirmation to what I just said. Does the other party who's involved in whatever this conflict is, Aries, understand that you're waiting for something? And have you articulated that? And or are you just necessarily potentially in the conflict right now with someone who has made it pretty clear you're not going to like the writings on the wall that you're not necessarily going to get it, or even worse, that this energy doesn't realize that they're supposed to be providing it to you, right? So this is a moment where, like, the Aries might need to, like, be the person to come forward in this if they want some activity, because if not, this may just kind of feel like a lot of internal battling for the Aries energy. Thank you so much to my Aries for receiving this message. And if you are an Aries and you would like to get some clarity on how to move through that conflict, you can book a reading on my website, graystrega.com. My readings are done over Zoom with adoption recording sent to you afterwards. And please keep in mind, if you book a reading, it is a two-step process. You have to book the reading and pay for the reading. Please make sure to hit both buttons when you book the reading. And if you're a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber ID at the point of payment. We are going to continue right now. So far, I'm going to name off the ones that we've done on the list. And so far we have done, and if I've already done you, never fear, because we are streaming this live on YouTube right now. Hello to my YouTube audience. So far, we have done Taurus, Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Aries, and I'm actually going to pull from the YouTube requests right now. I see Capricorn is coming through next. If you are a Capricorn sun, moon, or rising, tap that screen. If you know a Capricorn sun, moon, or rising, now would be a great time to share the live so that they don't miss their reading. What do we have coming through right now with our Capricorn energy? May I please get 3 cards for our Capricorns? First card. Oh, I love that card for our Capricorns. Can I get one more? Thank you so much. Capricorn, this is going to feel like a week of planning, a week of making them plans, communicating about those plans. You've got places to go, you've got things to do, and you are not waiting in terms of getting them ready. We are seeing this coming through strongly right now with this 2 of Wands. So a lot of communication. This also comes up a lot for me around digital communication. So there could be a lot of work on your computer this week as you make the plans for the future and set your sights on those future plans and possibilities. I am seeing here that there's something very intriguing coming up with those plans, specifically with the 4 of Cups in its reversal. So there may be something right now where you have been feeling a point of dissatisfaction as it relates to the things around you right now. And I'm almost seeing here that this is almost creating a moment where there's a flight of fancy that's happening right now for the Cancer energy, where it's like you're letting yourself kind of like daydream off right now, away from like the more mundane aspects of the things that you're doing right now, because you're just like reached an exhaustion point on them. And so there's something about being able to lay these plans right now that's just like creating a break from the monotony of something that you're currently experiencing. Or there may be something very unique about the plans that you're making right now that kind of shifts from what you typically do. And that's also creating this moment of like, it's excitement and inspiration, but also I will point out a little bit of anxiety too. And this is going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. Specifically saying that because we do see a Queen of Pentacles in its reversal around this circumstance or situation. So this is really calling attention to the fact that for feminine right now, again, I think that when I said that there is this flight of fancy or something to distract you right now, there is some anxiety as it relates to your own stability that's cropping up right now. And so I almost feel like one of the reasons that you're laying some of these plans in place right now is kind of to distract or to help her, like, self-correct from some of these feelings of instability that are rising up around you right now. While for masculine right now, this could be something that you're using to distract yourself away from some circumstance with a feminine energy that you feel is not necessarily in their point of stability. And this is where it's really coming through as like flight of fancy right now, because it's like, I'm going to just work on my plans right now and like the plans going forward and having some different approaches, because the feminine energy around me right now isn't necessarily giving me the stability or support that I'm seeking. Bottom of the deck right now on this reading right now is the World in its reversal. So like I said, with this being a distraction point right now, there is something deeper at hand right now that's happening, Capricorn, that is making you feel a little topsy-turvy. There could be some feelings of disorientation or uncertainty as it relates to the world in terms of how you're feeling right now or the plans that are actively happening around you. That's probably why we're seeing this like exertion into the planning ahead right now in terms of like trying to like self-correct some of this like disorientation or anxiety you might be feeling about like your current state and your own stability in it. Just remember, Capricorns, if you're feeling like this week, grounding is key. When you are having these moments of feeling this upsetness, when you're feeling like things are kind of moving sideways or you're not necessarily in control of the situation, having this time to sit in your space, to take this pause for yourself, to ground into these energies is what is going to bring you into better alignment. Even though I do see that you are trying to do some busy work here, that will also help you in the work that you do here, right? Because you want to make sure that you're making the plans from like a place of stability and consciousness instead of like fast visceral reactions or anxiety that may be cropping up to the surface. Thank you so much to my Capricorns. And I appreciate you being here to have this reading. For anyone joining us, we are doing all of the tarot astrology signs. I'm going to go ahead and read off the ones that we've done so far. Thank you to all the Capricorns for the confirmation on that reading, especially on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. We are going to continue right now. I will name off the signs that we've done so far. If I've already done your sign, never fear. We are streaming this live on YouTube right now. They will all be available at the conclusion of this live on my YouTube. Link is in my bio for my TikTok audience. So far, we have done Taurus, Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Aries, Capricorn. Next sign we are doing is Scorpio. If you are a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, tap that screen. If you know a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, now would be a beautiful time to share the live with them so that they don't miss their reading. What do we have coming through right now for our Scorpios? We've got one card out. May I please have two more cards? Second card coming through. May I please have one more card? Thank you so much. What do we have coming through? A little bit of hairy energy this week, Scorpio, but I definitely think that this is on a positive upswing. I see that specifically because the first card we have coming through right now is this Nine of Wands in its reversal. So there's something here about having had to put up boundaries in the past, Scorpio, but I do see that there is some kind of easement on those boundaries this week. You're not necessarily moving forward from a fear-based mentality, but you're allowing yourself to kind of emerge from your shell, and we love seeing that, specifically because the next card we're seeing coming up for you right now is this 10 of Swords in its reversal. So what we're really seeing is there is this moment that is currently happening for you right now where you may be feeling that there is this reemergence, that something has come to an abrupt end in your life. Or I don't want to say abrupt, something reached a definitive conclusion point in the recent past that may have required you to put up these defenses in the first place as you were going through the healing of that thing that ended. But we see here with this 10 of Swords and its upright that this is a moment of rebirth. And this moment of rebirth that you're experiencing, while it may feel a little painful, is also what's allowing you to kind of come out of your shell right now and drop some of these boundaries that you may have had over the last short period of time. Now, this may feel different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For masculine energy right now, this is still very difficult to experience. And we're seeing that here with this King of Swords. Whatever this is, even as you're starting to let those boundaries come down and you're reemerging, you are feeling very vulnerable in this moment. You're feeling very disempowered, but you're also allowing yourself to experience those moments. You're not letting them hold you back, even as you push through. But this could feel like a bit of a nail biting energy for the masculine Scorpios right now, because you're kind of like doing a mind over matter situation here where you're pushing yourself forward, even though you might not necessarily feel completely at a point of confidence to do so. And there is some kind of like anxiety or fear about taking these steps, even as you're taking them. For feminine Scorpios right now, we are seeing the fact that you're having a point of reemergence and you're dropping your guard right now, specifically as it potentially relates to some masculine energy that was around you that you don't feel was standing in a place of integrity, or they were not necessarily coming through for you in the way that you would ideally hope. This could be feeling like a frustration point at this time of like feeling very vulnerable, but like letting your guard down because you're having this reorientation point around this energy that may have put you in it. And you're not necessarily seeing this energy as something that is a threat, or even like someone who's like going to like confidently come forward to you right now. It's almost like looking at this energy and feeling like it's kind of like not risen to the challenge, or it's not necessarily coming towards you in like a strong fashion. And that's what's kind of allowing you this moment of reemergence. Bottom of the deck right now on this is a lot of consideration right now for Scorpio energy, masculine, feminine, on connections, specifically coming through right now with this Six of Cups. So there is a lot of attention being paid right now to the energies around you right now, Scorpios, and really asking yourself if the energies you're aligned to are ones that are working in a positive, supportive fashion towards your own needs and goals right now, or if they may necessarily need some readjustment in terms of not necessarily being healthy or healing for you. So a lot of attention here paid to this, and maybe even some uncertainty as to like trying to identify which energies are supportive of you and which ones are not. But we do necessarily see the fact that like regardless, you are pushing forward this week. You're allowing your guard to drop because you feel like this is like rebirth is ongoing and presently happening. Thank you so much to my Scorpios for being here for this reading. And if you're just joining us, we are doing the tarot astrology for all of the signs. If I've already done your sign, never fear, for I will have them all up on YouTube at the conclusion of today's reading. This is streaming live on YouTube. Hello to everybody joining us on YouTube. I am going to go ahead and read off the signs that we've done so far. And so far we have done Taurus, Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Aries, Capricorn, Scorpio. And the next sign we are doing is Sagittarius. If you are a Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising, tap that screen. If you know a Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising, now would be a great time to share the live with them so that they don't miss their reading. What do we have coming through right now for our Sagittarius energy? May I please have 3 cards? We've got 2 cards out right now. May I please have the 3rd card? Thank you so much. A lot of similar cards here, but I'm not surprised to see it. So Sagittarius, again, much like the Capricorns this week, a lot of attention to making plans, for setting these plans as it relates to going forward, as it relates to the plans moving in the next, like in your near future. A lot of communication present this week, potentially even digital communication. As I always point out, this is a card that frequently comes up with digital here. So we do see that this is a big activation point in laying down some firm plans this week, which we love for our Sagittarians because we know how much you love your plans. This is going to feel like a bit interesting energy, though, because here they are again. Here is that King of Swords again that we just got for the Scorpions showing up for the Sagittarians. And this is going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For masculine Sagittarians right now, there is something about making these plans, but you might not necessarily be making these plans at a point of complete confidence, particularly with this King of Swords in its reversal. So there is something here that has you feeling kind of vulnerable and triggered. And there might even be something about laying these plans right now to help you kind of feel more supported and strong in the position that you find yourself in right now. Specifically because we're also seeing around this a 7 of Cups, which is showing that there is some anxiety about making the wrong choice that you may have to be like, you definitely want to take into consideration right now, Sagittarians, because I do feel like while the Sagittarian masculines are making these plans for themselves right now, there's a lot of anxiety about making the wrong choice or making the wrong plans or going in the wrong direction. And if you're feeling like this, my Sagittarian masculines, just a heads up, grounding right now is key. Really sitting in your pose, focusing on what it is you're truly hoping to manifest, as opposed to just like viscerally reacting to the options or opportunities around you right now. That's really going to help you as you go forward from this point. Well, for our feminine Sagittarians, this is a moment where you are making potentially some plans for yourself right now, even in the face of a masculine energy who you may be feeling frustrated with right now because you may not be feeling like they are as supportive um, as you may desire. There could also be something here with some of the Sagittarian energy here where there could even be like a masculine energy that's around you right now where you're making the plans right now quickly, specifically because you know this masculine isn't going to fight you on them this week, which I think is very interesting as well, which I think is very, very, very amusing. There is something here, though, about those plans coming forward, but also about some attention to those plans in terms of, again, having this moment, Sagittarians, to really identify and understand what it is that you're hoping to go after right now, really kind of focusing on your desired future outcome and letting that set the groundwork in terms of the plans that you're making right now, specifically coming through with this Seven of Cups. There is something here about making sure that you're not operating from a point of confusion or illusion. I'm putting a lot of attention on this right now as you choose your next steps and giving yourself the time and space to sit in the pose and meditate and really ground in terms of what your desired future outcome is before you make any decisions this week. Bottom of the deck on this right now is coming through as Four of Wands in its reversal. What I think is really interesting here is this is potentially speaking of a situation where the Sagittarians are making plans because there's another plan that they really would ideally like to make, but they feel is not something that is coming forward for them or isn't necessarily a possibility. So this would explain maybe some of that anxiety or vulnerability that we're seeing with the masculine Capricorns, the masculine Sagittarians, and also some of this disillusionment that we're potentially seeing around both energies right now. It's almost like these plans are being made in place of other plans that they would rather be having, but that are not coming to fruition. But we don't see that stopping the Sagittarians in this moment. We still see them pushing through, which we love about them. Just make sure that you focus on that desired outcome, Sagittarians, as you proceed forward from this point. All right, let's continue right now. I'm going to read off the signs that we've done so far. If I've already done your sign, never fear, because we will be, all of these will be up on my YouTube channel at the conclusion of this live. So don't worry about that. I'm going to name off all of the signs that we've done so far. And if I've already done your sign, you'll be able to find it on that YouTube channel. So far, we have done Taurus, Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Aries, Capricorn, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and the next sign we are doing right now is Virgo. If you are a Virgo, sun, moon, or rising, tap that screen. If you know a Virgo, sun, moon, or rising, now would be a great time to share the live with them so that they don't miss their reading. What do we have coming through right now for our Virgo energy? Can I please get 3 cards to clarify? 1 card out here, 2 cards out. May I please have a 3rd card? Thank you so much. Wow, this 2 of Wands just doesn't want to quit this week. It's back out again. So again, everybody is making the plans this week for the future and working on the communication of those plans. Virgo's coming through strong again with this 2 of Wands. So again, a lot of focus, a lot of orientation on making these plans for yourself, on what those plans look like. Very interesting though, because very similar in a certain way to the reading that we just had for Sagittarius. Why? Well, yet for Sagittarius, we saw that King of Swords coming through in its reversal. So some feelings of anxiety or disempowerment, potentially around the masculine energy. This is not necessarily what we're seeing with Virgos. It's almost worse to a certain degree because the decisions are not necessarily being made with like a bit of sheepishness or skittishness. We're seeing here that there's an Emperor in its reversal around these plans. So Again, difference here depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy for Virgos, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For feminine Virgos right now, this could be feeling like you are making plans and laying groundwork for yourself in the face of some kind of masculine energy that you feel is like feeling overly controlling, overly manipulative, really kind of trying to like potentially cause some chaos around you as you're trying to make these plans, and it is not necessarily helping you make these plans. So that is almost like you're almost seeing, we're almost seeing here the fact that you're doing it in the face of this energy, or having to like feel like you're almost like pushing against this energy as you make these plans for yourself in a very non-helpful way. While for masculine Virgos right now, this could be feeling like you're trying to make these plans going forward while feeling a lot of anxiety or uncertainty around your own sense of stability and control right now, coming through with this Emperor in its reversal. Huge sign for the Virgo masculines right now to really kind of put a lot of attention and focus on trying to move from a point of control rather than any kind of like gut instincts right now. Because what we don't necessarily want for the Virgo masculines is making some kind of like gut instinct because you're feeling like you're out of control as it relates to your plans going forward. So just a little warning there for those if you've been feeling like this for the Virgo masculines. For the Virgo feminines, though, again, we do see here that a lot of this is being done like around an energy you don't feel is being very helpful as you try to make these plans. This is not being helped right now with the Virgo energy coming through right now with a Lovers in its reversal. So this doesn't necessarily need to speak specifically on romantic relationships, but it certainly can. But this really talks about the fact that some of the plans that are potentially being made right now are kind of in the face or trying to like push up against some situation where there is some partnership that is not in a positive, productive place, or to the hope of trying to remedy a partnership that is not in a positive place. And for feminine, this is going to feel very difficult right now because this could be feeling like you are trying to make plans around, potentially even in partnership right now, like with some masculine energy that you just don't feel is positive or productive or helpful, or has pulled their assistance away from you as you're trying to make these plans. And this is what's bringing to light the fact that this like partnership is not one that's in a positive environment for you right now. While for masculine Virgos, we're seeing the fact that you're potentially trying to make these plans right now, feeling this loss of potential control, and also trying to dwell or deal with some kind of partnership that you feel is dissolving, and potentially making some of these plans in the face of trying to either repair, remedy, or move forward from whatever this partnership is that is in such a detriment that needs correction. Bottom of the deck right now for this Virgo reading is time. What did I say about not making any gut reactions, right, Virgos? Remember what I said? Don't be too hasty here, Virgos. I know that there's something about this that is feeling like, that there is kind of driving you forward right now and making you feel this urge to like immediately lay these plans down. But try to remember that there is something here where time could potentially be on your side. That the way you're feeling right now may kind of shift or adjust, or there is something about your perception shifting or adjusting over the next coming days, which may make this situation or scenario feel a bit more manageable. So just keep that in mind as you go forward from this point, because this does say to me that timing right now is like, I feel like you're anxious about timing, but this does say to me that timing is working in your favor. You just need to give yourself that space to allow that to kind of absorb, especially if you're a Virgo masculine right now, because you're feeling that like deep loss of control within yourself right now. And we would like to see you moving from a place of power, especially as it relates to making plans. Thank you so much to my Virgos. And if you are a Virgo sun, moon, or rising that would like to get some clarity in terms of your reading, you can always book a private reading on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings, booking a private reading is a two-step process on my site. You have to book the reading and pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you book a reading. And please remember, if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber ID at the point of payment. We are going to continue right now. I'll name off the signs that we've done so far. If I've already done your sign, never fear, for these will all be up on my YouTube channel. We are streaming live there as we go on here as well. Hello to everybody joining us on YouTube. So far, we have done Taurus, Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Aries, Capricorn, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Virgo, and the next sign we are doing is Libra. If you are a Libra, sun, moon, or rising, tap that screen. If you know a Libra, sun, moon, or rising, now would be a beautiful time to share the live with them so that they don't miss their reading. What do we have coming through right now for our Libras? May I please have 3 cards to clarify? We've got 1, we've got 2. Can I please have the 3rd? Thank you so much. Oh my, do you guys see me shuffling these cards? Do you see all of the shuffling that I'm doing? All right, we're definitely got a theme going on this week. The cards want to come out, the cards want to come out. A lot of things happening in the collective around some types of energy. Libras, you've got 2 of the same cards as Virgo, so this is going to feel a little interesting for you as well this week. Specifically, here it is again. We've got the Emperor in its reversal coming out again. So there are some issues right now potentially around the masculine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. Masculine Libras right now, there could be this feeling or some anxiety around feeling some loss of control, some setback or something you're experiencing right now that is making you feel this loss of control. And a lot of this is going to be a week where you're trying to navigate, exploring how this, like what to do in the face of this loss of control. This can feel very triggering right now for the Libra masculine. So please do everything you can to ground as you go through this right now. While for the Libra feminines, this could be a lot of attention being directed towards a representation of masculine around you right now that you feel is in their Emperor in its reversal. So feeling like it is more manipulative, it is more controlling. It isn't necessarily working to like in a collaborative way, but really kind of just trying to like have its will upon you in terms of what it's trying to do and what you're trying to do. And so this could be feeling like a bit of a conflict point for you this week. This is also standing in the face right now of this 3 of Pentacles energy. So for masculine right now, this could be feeling like a moment of anxiety or a loss of control, particularly as it relates to the foundations that you're currently trying to build for yourself that is given evidence with this 3 of Pentacles. So a lot of attention being paid to trying to fortify or build up your own foundations right now, or putting a lot of attention in the foundations of something that you are trying to work and build towards right now, even as you're to kind of correct for some of this loss of control that you're feeling. This could also be feeling like there is something here where you are kind of losing some kind of foundational part of something that needs to be addressed or corrected for as well. Continuing to get clarity for the feminines right now, this could be feeling like there is a moment right now of needing to move forward in a space of building a stronger foundation for yourself right now, specifically in the face of an energy that you are feeling is necessarily causing some kind of issue around your own feelings of stability and support. For both masculine and feminine energy right now, we do see with this 2 of Wands that this is a moment of really moving forward and considering your options, particularly as it relates to communication, to making your plans for the future. Potentially, I will also point out there's something coming through here around travel that, or maybe even potentially making plans to travel, specifically since we see this work of trying to set a foundation and this card of movement. So for masculine energy right now, this could be really feeling like potentially trying to build some kind of new foundation and potentially looking at other opportunities and locales to do that in to help build this foundation for yourself. While for feminine right now, this could be feeling like a moment of potentially trying to build a strong foundation for yourself and looking at places to do that, potentially in the face of like trying to work with, like having to deal with a masculine that you don't feel is necessarily working with you in this capacity, but is causing more of a challenge point at this point. Bottom of the deck on this reading is 6 of Cups. So very similar that we saw earlier around the energy. I believe it was Cancer, of putting a lot of assessment into looking at the energies near you right now, Libras, and really asking if those energies are aligned to kind of building to your kind of highest self, building to your best course of action, building that restorative value connection between the karmic energies that you're associated with, or if those energies aren't necessarily aligned to your higher goals and is just causing a friction point as you try to lay these plans for yourself. So a lot of work around foundations, a lot of work about trying to like be very cautious around the energies that you're working, collaborating with as you go forward from this point, Libra. But continue to do those work on building that foundation for yourself. And you will kind of move through this, and we will see these foundations, because we do see that you're moving in a state of working to secure a stronger foundation, which is all we really want to see right there, because that is a positive direction. Thank you so much to our Libras for receiving this message. We are doing all 12 signs of the zodiac right now. I will go ahead and name the ones that we've done so far. If I've already done your reading, never fear, it will be up on my YouTube channel. You can find it there later today. We are streaming live on YouTube as we speak. So hello and thank you to everybody joining us on our YouTube. So far, if you'd like your sign done, now would be the time to put it in the comments. So far, we have done Taurus, Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Aries, Capricorn, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Virgo, Libra. The next sign we are doing is Aquarius. If you are an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, tap that screen. If you know an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, now would be a great time to share the live so that the Aquarians don't miss their reading. We've got the first card out. May I please have 2 more cards? Thank you so much. May I please have, we've got more than 2. We've got 5 cards coming out for Aquarius right now. We are going to read all of them as we do. A lot of people in this reading, Aquarius. A lot of people. Let's get to it. Aquarius, this is going to feel a little different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy. This is a big week for Aquarius feminines right now. And then also a very positive week for masculine Aquarians, I will point out as well. Specifically because Aquarians, we're seeing here, for the feminines, we've got the Queen of Swords with the Empress, with the Queen of Cups. So this is saying to me right now that there is something very important happening here with the Aquarian females in laying down some kind of boundaries or setting some kind of boundaries. And I want to point this out because something about this energy is very interesting, because there is something about, I'm just going to read all of them across because this is one of these situations I have to read them all separately instead of going back and forth. The feminine Aquarians are in a moment right now that we're seeing that boundaries are being laid down. Boundaries against what, you may ask? Well, boundaries against any energies that they feel are coming towards them strictly around kind of more fickle, passionate energy instead of coming through with solid offers. We're seeing this here with the Knight of Wands here. So again, a feminine that's trying to have some boundaries around some new energy that's coming towards them with new passions, new projects. And I feel here the big question is whether they feel like you can move forward with these energies and whether they're really serious. I say that because we do have with this also the 10 of Wands. So this is a moment of consideration as you decide the work that you need to do and where you're going to go. This could even indicate some kind of travel coming through right now, or movement being planned around some Aquarius feminines right now in terms of locationality, and really asking yourself if the energy that's coming towards you right now is one that's going to kind of be able to be there with you on the long terms in terms of the work that you have to do at this point. We see that the reason you're taking these steps right now is because you are moving from such a place of power right now, Aquarian feminines. And I say that here because we see here the Empress coming up along with the Queen of Cups. So there's something here about you being able to lay your boundaries right now because you are moving in a space where you're really having a lot of this deeper appreciation for yourself, really kind of understanding what your own value is and what you would deserve as it relates to love and relationships. And this is also kind of moving through with this double whammy of this heart opening that's also happening right now. Thank you so much for the gifts and the confirmations, Aquarius, around your own emotionality opening up. So what we're really seeing here is an Aquarius feminine that is really kind of aligned with their heart space right now and their own emotionality, and isn't afraid to put their boundaries up and to make sure that the energies that are aligning with them are willing to do the hard work to get them to where they need to go. While for masculine Aquarians right now, this is, and I will also point out, I feel like the Aquarian feminines also have some feminine energy that is giving them support in this direction as well. So I don't even see that the fact that the feminine, that's one of the reasons I feel like this feminine energy is putting up some of these boundaries around any kind of masculine that they might feel like questioning about, because I almost feel like the feminine energy is so strong around the Aquarian feminines right now that they almost feel like they don't necessarily, they can take it or leave it as it relates to the masculine energy coming in. Well, for masculine Aquarians right now, what we're really seeing is a moment where you're trying to find some energy to come towards a feminine that has their boundaries up. That there is something here where you're trying to potentially communicate with a feminine, or trying to get them to kind of come onto your side as it relates to some communication or plan. And you're feeling like they're having a lot of boundaries up, putting up a lot of guards here. And this is difficult because it makes you feel like right now that you have to do a lot of heavy lifting and a lot of work, particularly to get in contact with this energy right now. because we see here that a lot of the Aquarius masculine's energy and direction is very much focused towards this energy right now. And I will also point out there may even be multiple Aquarian, multiple feminine energies around the Aquarius masculine right now that they're trying to like move towards right now, but hitting some kind of blockage on, specifically with this Empress energy, which is the heart's desire, along with the Queen of Cups that is lending some kind of emotional support in this area as well. This is really creating a moment where like there is a bit of an exhaustion point that the Aquarius masculine is feeling right now as they try to like, you know, do a lot of this work to get through to either like one or both of these energies is what I'm seeing. But we do see here that a lot of their focus right now is like trying to get this passion and communication forward in this way. Bottom of the deck for feminine and masculine. We cannot get rid of this card today, guys. We can't get rid of it. You guys see me shuffle these cards. Emperor in its reversal. So remember what I said right now with the Aquarian feminine right now feeling like they can probably maybe like take or leave the masculine energy. Well, that's really coming through right now with this being in its reversal right now for the feminine. This is a moment of reconsideration that the feminine is giving around masculine energy and really asking right now if this energy coming in is helpful or if it's just going to cause more problems is what I'm really seeing. While for the masculine Aquarians, we are seeing here that there is some anxiety that's rising up about feeling some feelings of powerlessness or loss of control, potentially around some multiple feminine energies that are currently around you right now that you feel like you may be having some kind of blockage from being able to like move forward with in the way that you would ultimately desire. So again, a lot of attention around, particularly for the masculine Aquarius, about trying to move back into a place of like feeling this sense of self and this sense of self-empowerment. While for feminine, this is just a moment where I feel like the masculine energy is really going to have to prove themselves to you because it's bringing up to the surface some like larger triggering things around masculine energy in general. Thank you so much to our Aquarians for receiving that very interesting reading. And if you are an Aquarian who would like to get clarity on that spread, you can book a private reading with me on my website, gracestrega.com. I do offer multiple different tiers of readings. You can book 15, 30, or 60-minute readings, all at different price points. So lots of opportunities and offers in terms of what you can have and what we'll be able to read together. I am going to continue right now and name off all the signs that we've done so far. If I've named your sign, no, never fear. We are streaming on YouTube right now, so you'll be able to find all of the signs there when you go there. I'm going to name them off now. If I haven't done your sign, just put it in the comments. So far, we have done Taurus, Leo, Cancer, Gemini, Aries, Capricorn, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Virgo, Libra, Aquarius. And the final sign we are doing today is, last but not least, Pisces. If you are a Pisces, sun, moon, or rising, tap that screen. If you know a Pisces, sun, moon, or rising, now would be a beautiful time to share the live with them so they don't miss their reading. What do we have coming through right now for our Pisces energy? Can I please get 3 cards? 3 cards for Pisces coming through. We've got 1 card here. We've got our 3 cards out. Pisces, today's reading is going to feel a lot similar to the daily collective read that we did earlier today. You can find that also on my YouTube channel. Hello there, Strega. What's up, baby? Strega's coming in to say hello to our Pisces. So what we're really seeing here is this is a moment with the Magician in its reversal. So there is some feeling right now about feeling disempowered or unsure as it relates to your own ability to accomplish and have the things accomplished that you're trying to accomplish. This is also, I need to point out, something where you're putting a lot of potential over attention in the tools that you have to do something or feeling some frustration on those tools, as opposed to remembering that you have the one gift that is irreplaceable at your disposal, which is your own power. So this is a moment of reorientation around the Pisces energy of coming into your own power or trying to get back into your own power and regain your confidence in terms of being able to accomplish the things that you're trying to manifest right now. This could also be rising to the surface as some feelings or anxieties around being manipulated as well that can often creep up when we see this Magician in its reversal. So that also might be feeling some of these disempowering things that you're feeling right now, Pisces. Specifically, here's that card again. One of the things I feel like is a challenge for you right now, Pisces, is there is something that you have identified that needs to be adjusted as it relates to some foundation in your life that is not necessarily as stable as you would ideally want it to be, some attention that has been called to this destabilizing point. And I feel like what we're really seeing here is your attention has been caused to something that you feel is not necessarily as stable and needs to be rebuilt around you. You're just feeling a lot of anxiety as it relates to how to necessarily do that, or what tactic to take in terms of that right now. More than anything, though, I do see here, and I feel like this is going to be kind of a blockage point for the Pisces this week as you try to get yourself back into a place of empowerment so that you could address this like foundational issue that needs to be reworked or rebuilt around you right now, Pisces. So doing this work right now on the self is really going to be key. Specifically, though, I do see some help on the way. I will give you that because I do see some help coming through right now with this Page of Wands. And this says to me that if you're feeling like that right now, Pisces, or you've been experiencing this, being able to turn to outside energies right now for advice and support is really going to be your lifeline right now. This is giving you a moment of really being able to kind of find someone around you who you can talk to for this advice, who could lend some insight that could kind of give you this inspiration or give you this kickstart that you need to help you on this path of rebuilding. So really remember right now, Pisces, if you're feeling like this, do not isolate. Reach out to those people who you know you can trust. Share how you're feeling. Share your doubts. Share your concerns right now. This is saying to me that you're going to get the insight you need to push you forward if you're able to do so. Bottom of the deck right now for our Pisces is, this is what I mean about making sure that you're reaching out to other energies right now, because there is something here with the Six of Pentacles where you're feeling a bit isolated. You're feeling like you've been pouring a lot of time and energy into something and potentially not getting back in kind. And there is something here about you wanting to potentially feel like a need or having a moment of assessment that this might have to do with the foundational situation they're experiencing right now, of having to recall your energy from places that are not necessarily supporting you in kind, is what we're really seeing here. So a lot of that work that you're also doing right now this week, Pisces, could feel very difficult because it's making you acknowledge and realize that you need to kind of not just like rebuild something, but pull your energy back from places that you may have been giving it that you have not been getting the support that you thought you were getting, and that you're not necessarily building the foundation that you thought you were building. So a bit of a rough week, but again, we do see that support coming through. We do see that the inspiration and ideas. Make sure that you're sharing your journey with others right now, Pisces. This is going to help you on this path. Guys, that is all of the signs that we are doing this week. We have hit all of the astrology signs. Again, thank you so much for being here and having these readings with me. Just a reminder, if you missed any of the signs, they will all be up live on my YouTube. We were streaming live throughout this there. Hello to my YouTube audience, and thank you. So you can find them all there. I will just make sure that you're following me on my YouTube here on TikTok. Just hit that subscribe button. I want to thank you guys so much for being here with me and sharing this reading. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading, you can book a private reading on my website, graystrega.com. Thank you so much, and we will do this again next week. Take care. All right, guys, that was